Greetings from California, and welcome our very special guest, Bondy Blue.
Yes, welcome.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, yes.
So Kim Kardashian feels like we're not working. She says nobody wants to work. If you want to be successful, you've got to get off your tuchus and work. Now, this from a woman who literally takes selfies all day, was born into privilege, and only has the business and brand you have now because of the sex tape. The truth is, you rode Ray J's penis to stardom. He couldn't, but you could. Now, I will give you credit for that, but is that really work?
At this point, yes. At this point, wrapping yourself in a garbage bag and putting Balenciaga tape all over your cooch and not being able to walk into a venue like a normal person, yeah, girl, it's a job. You're sweating down there, for sure. And I do think that she has great work ethic because, as other people have pointed out, there are a lot of rich people that don't do shit with all of their access and money and wealth. They squander it. And she's been able to make more money than her parents had. So in essence, yeah, you do have good work ethic. And if we're talking to women who want to own businesses, I respect that coming from her, because that was the specific question about what do you have to say to women in business, not just what do you have to say to, y'all working down there to the McDonald's. Like nobody, said that y'all should do that. But at the same time, like you said, Alex, like, girl, you popped that pussy and got opportunities thanks to your mom having the access and the connections that she did to twerk that into a reality show. So yeah, sit back a little bit, just a little bit, but I get it.
I think this was it was coming from the wrong messenger to me. Like, I just don't want to hear that from Kim Kardashian, a benefactor of nepotism. She's exploited God knows how many people. Like, she needs an award for her exploitation and culture vulturing. Just saying. She just annoys me so much because I think she gets off from that. We have the Hulu show coming out. They got paid 9 figures for that show. So they're always going to be rich now. So I don't get it.
The tone of her voice was obnoxious as well. It's like, get off your fucking ass and get to work. It's like nobody wants to hear that from you, Becky Sue. Like the people that have to actually grind for that shit, like your mom did that for you while you were probably playing on your phone or something. Like the actual grindage. Like now you just get a whole bunch of opportunities. And because of those opportunities, you work a lot because there's a high demand for you. But the work was in creating the demand. And you didn't do a lot to create the demand.
I saw that sex tape. She didn't do a lot in bed. And then on her reality show, it was just one marriage after another until she finally married Kanye.
But also, working hard doesn't automatically guarantee you success too.
True.
So there's that. And then speaking of the Kardashians, Khloe Kardashian is actually getting the heat too, because she just said in the article, it has always been really hurtful when the woman is blamed for their significant other doing something wrong. Talking about herself. I bet Jordan Woods has something to say as that family tried to destroy that poor Black girl.
Well, I mean, Trina has something to say. There's a whole bunch of women. What's the little cute chocolate girl that Kylie took one of the little boys from? Y'all befriend Black women so that y'all can get into the culture. Y'all, hang around them, and then you steal their men, and then that's your entrance into the culture on Black dick via Black women and their style and their aesthetic. We've seen it, girl. Please, nobody wants to hear that from you either. Like, cry on your own pillow. Okay, cry in the shower. Nobody cares.
And also, Khloe, you started out as the other woman. He had a baby mama. You decided to insert yourself and wrap him up with furs and send him on private jets, making him relevant because nobody knew what a Tristan Thompson was. You don't have a shoe.
His voice is so problematic to me. I'm like, what is all this hype for?
I rarely have heard him speak.
It's weird. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right at all.
It sounds like that, like a code switching voice almost.
Yes. Yeah, like he brings it up an octave.
Yes, like when I was serving, like when I first started in like the South in Baton Rouge, like I would have to like talk like this and hi, how are you guys doing? Like that, to not be a threatening Black man.
Yes. Can't speak in the tone that your voice naturally is in. Gotta bring it up an octave.
The calm down honkies, it's all right tone.
Yes. Love
Yeah.
it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What have y'all thought about Kandi's show? It debuted on Sunday, and I thought it was cute. And then, I mean, we'll talk about the ratings, but first, like, what did y'all think about it?
I haven't seen that many gay black men on television since Pose.
I love it, right?
Okay. I like it, but I think it has good bones. I think it has good bones. I think this is the good thing about Kandi, because this is the show that can give you season after season after season, especially if she gets over the idea that she can't fire people. Like, get some of these people out and bring in new people every now and again and see what works. And then we can do the whole, Gordon Ramsay thing of watching you fix the issues that y'all have in this broke down ass restaurant. We see it. It's good.
I feel like it's a step up from a chicken shack, but to call it a restaurant with those reviews would be a stretch, especially according to the Department of Health.
The reviews. I mean, I went there. I mean, it's really hard to mess up fried chicken and mac and cheese. It was good, but then the second time, my food was just a tad saltier than I liked it. But the vibe was cool. The service was great. Other than that, I don't want to trash the restaurant. I wanted to go to Blaze, but people kept telling me not to go because they failed the inspection.
We can't have you coming down with ptomaine, poisoning, ptomaine. That crap will get all up in your veins. Ptomaine, ptomaine.
What were you saying, Bondy?
I'm sorry, I'm doing the background music today. I was saying that I think it was because they were mixing the meats. Like, there was a situation where there was some raw meat handled, like, not in between washing the hands to getting to seafood. It was something where a mixing of the meats and the seafoods and the raw and the cooked. And when you think about them not having a generator, your refrigeration is not adequate, and they have probably failed inspections because of that. So when he keeps saying that, it's so much to do, the power goes out a few hours every now and again, it's not a big deal. It's kind of like, no, it seems to be a big deal. Y'all keep failing health inspections.
Right. I normally don't mind the mixing of meats, but in this situation, I do mind.
Oh my God. Like, that will kill people.
Yeah, it will. I won't go to a Chick-fil-A near my house right now because they gave me food poisoning. That lasted almost 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I cook my bacon the second I get it home. My mom would always yell at me about leaving anything out. You're going to get ptomaine poisoning.
As far as the show, do y'all think it was really close to Hustle and Soul? Or y'all think it's like a notch up above it?
I mean, a notch above, because Kandi has more money and the restaurant is solidified as a place that people actually go to. Like Hustle and Soul, you used to wonder if the restaurant was going to be open when you went down there. So I think Kandi is a slight step up, but it's in that same vein.
Hustle and Soul, they used to get fried chicken from Publix, and they would pretend to be serving people. That was not a restaurant. I went to the Pink Teacup in New York while it was still open. I mean, these people, like, you could tell it was more of a restaurant for the show than an actual place that people ate. Like, they were trying, but they were failing miserably, because any soul food place that will take a cold side of potato salad, $9 potato salad, I might add, and stick that in with your hot food in a cheap black bodega bag, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, speaking of like the ratings, they had some disappointing ratings for the premiere, especially because they had so much marketing for it.
I know. A lot of people said they didn't know it was on. You know what I think it was? A lot of people said the other shows had a Real Housewives of Atlanta lead in. We are like the only two people of color that watch Salt Lake City. Bondy, do you watch Salt Lake City?
I review and watch Salt Lake City. I sure do.
So we're like the three Bravo people where we'll look at some stuff that maybe other people aren't looking at. So a lot of, I think, people weren't looking at Salt Lake City. So they weren't, because only Salt Lake City and Jersey are on. So we're seeing the promos, but a lot of people are like, yeah, what?
And I don't watch Jersey.
Jersey is good. I think you might actually enjoy Jersey.
Even watching Salt Lake City this season reminded me why I don't do white housewife shows.
I look at it as an anthropological study. It's like, I'm going into the wilds of the Caucasus Mountains to see them in their natural habitat.
And Jersey, it's a short but sweet season. Like, they don't go over 15 episodes.
Okay.
And also Jersey was right next door. So I always felt like, I live here, I'll peep at it.
And a lot of people are talking about how, well, of course they're going to compare Kandi's show to Portia's show. And Portia's show, I think people watched it. And that's why it was like kind of successful.
I think two people wanted to see Simon. I think they wanted to know why she went from Dennis to the California Prune. Because if you don't upgrade, he does have more money, but that's
does
really
he though? Because that's the question.
That's a good
people are asking. Because they think he doesn't have money. I think that Portia show it's not going to be as good as Kandi show. I can tell you that right now. Portia show it doesn't have real good bones. Like, it was them going on one trip. And I felt like, first of all, it was also her being in charge of her family in a way that they weren't going to be honest. And we saw that.
That's true.
And Kandi's not that type. Like, Kandi, the things that Kandi wants to cover up are usually things that she probably won't even give y'all a chance to see like that. But in that show is set up to where the people that are going to act an ass can act an ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Portia tried to do with her family. But you can't do that type of shit with your family without bringing it back around to but that's my family and we love each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Kandi gonna do. Kandi gonna be like, but they're my family and I love them. That's my mama. And I tell you, I don't say that about my mama. And that's how she gonna be. So we know it doesn't matter what happens on this show. That family is like solid. Portia has some bullshit with her family. So it's like, it's not real. None of it is really coming from a real place, which means it wasn't going to have good bones. It was only going to come, make a splash, and now it's gone,
And also Portia's show, I think the Kandi show will do better in the ratings. I think now that more people know it's on. It did worse than Candy Coated Nights, and they dumped that. They just dropped that in like 4 episodes aired, and then it just didn't come on anymore. And that fun fact, Jussie Smollett, who was one of the few guests on that ill-fated show.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't watch it though, because I had already seen her do it online. When she did it online, it was a huge hit. We used to be watching that shit every Thursday night when that shit came on. I believe it used to come on Thursday nights or Wednesday night. Child, one of them nights it came on, and I used to be like, child, Kandi Coated Night about to come on. Let me go watch, see who's gonna be on there. Because back when Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and shit would be on, like, people would come and act a fool on Kandi's show based off shit that had happened on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and shit. So it was a good time. So when she tried to redo it, I'm like, y'all are not going to be able to keep the same grit that y'all had before, because they talk about real sex stuff. So it's like, we know y'all not going to be able to do the same thing on this platform. So why even waste our time? Y'all prettied up the set, but y'all are going to Disney up the content, and nobody wants to see that. So that's why that show didn't last. But I feel like Kandi does good whenever it's her and her family in an ensemble cast situation, because they little ski trip shit did well. We watched that.
I didn't watch that. I'm really surprised how that did.
I watched it. It was good. Surprisingly. Kandi gets you like that. You think it's going to be boring, and then you sit down and watch it and you're like, well, this is not that bad. I can come back next week. And that's just basically how it goes.
I hope they just give it a chance. But if this does this poorly next week, I am afraid they're just going to dump it.
Yeah.
Who wants better sex? The best way to get started is to go to adamandeve.com right now. Adam and Eve is offering 50% off just about any item. More than that, Adam and Eve wants to make your life easy. They offer discreet shipping as your privacy is a priority, plus free shipping on your entire order. Doesn't matter how much you spend or what you buy, all will be packaged and sent discreetly for free. Bring more pleasure and satisfaction into your bedroom. Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire. Just enter code ROAST at the checkout and you'll get 50% off almost any item. When you do, you'll also get free shipping on your entire order when you enter offer code ROAST. That's ROAST, ROAST at adamandeve.com. This exclusive offer is specific to this podcast, so be sure to use this code ROAST to get you not just the discount, but also the 100% free shipping. Code ROAST.
Speaking of dumping shows, Nick Cannon's show dropped after 6 months. I'm fine with that decision.
Me too.
Debmar Mercury said, you know what? We're done here.
And they're trying to save money for Sherry's show coming up.
Who's gonna watch that though? Never mind, I'm sorry.
No.
Not her child.
Wait, what did you say?
Not her child. The one she don't claim.
Right.
I don't listen. I think Sherry reminds me of Wanda Sykes and a lot of them other ones. Not even Wanda Sykes. I would say like what's the other one? Damn, I'm spacing on her name. And I'm mad. Anyway, but the brown skin lady that was on the dark skin lady that was on the show and the movie. Was she on the talk? I think she might have been on the talk.
Lonnie Love?
Not Lonnie. I know Lonnie.
Who like pulled her wig off?
I think yes, her.
Cheryl Underwood.
Cheryl Underwood.
Yeah.
Thank you. She's in the line with Cheryl Underwood, and they may start out doing things with Black shows and stuff like that. Like that's how we know them, but they're not for us. They're Black people for white people to watch, in my opinion. Kind of like how people see the Blackish show. Like it's a show that's like educating white people on Black people. Like that's the type of situation that Sherry Shepherd gives to me. So she's not going to get Wendy's audience like that. And so I'm wondering what that's going to do. But when it comes to Nick, I didn't need to see Nick Dick printing them tight ass pants no more. His show was only getting views when he was saying something problematic about him and them damn children. And I honestly feel like now you were doing that intentionally so that that show wouldn't get canceled. Because we were hearing before he started saying shit on that show, we were hearing that that show might have gotten canceled. And then we would see in the show, and then he'd say things and he'd have these moments. Remember the last thing talking about having sex with pregnant women and all of that? All of that is shit so that you can have people coming and paying attention to this show, and it still got canceled. So all your little clickbaity, antics did not work, Nick. Go back to wilding out and chill out.
He leaked a nude and everything.
It was a nice nude. It's in my Discord. It's nice. He waxes. I always find it so crazy when I see like that straight men, but I mean they're rich, so I get it. But then also like, who's asking for that though?
He waxed down there.
Yeah, he had no hair down there at all.
Well, it does make it look bigger when it's waxed.
It does make it look bigger. You are right.
That's a little trick.
That is. Okay. You know what's so funny? I don't really come into, I have not, I'm gonna say it like that. I have not come into contact with penises that were that small, so I never really paid attention to the hair. I just know that it's there and that sometimes it's cushioned. So, for me, and I also kind of like the warmth. Never mind, long stories.
Yeah, it's fine. And the cancellation is swift. Like, they're not even letting it finish out the season. Like, they told the staff to get the fuck out. Like, in this article, it says the staff was blindsided by the news. And not only did they find out about the show's cancellation online, they also learned they won't have the opportunity to finish the season. Like, it's just ending abruptly.
Ooh, child.
Wow. That means nobody was watching it. And also they were sick of his antics. I think that they were trying to see like, all right, let's try to be the big TV producers that we are. Since, Wendy's on the ropes, we'll throw in a couple of test hosts, see what we can get. And they got Sherry and they're like, okay, we're done here.
I also have a little bit of tea. Like how the Wendy Williams show is still doing those guest hosts, right? There's a website that's actually hiring people to come to the audience. They're paying $75 a show. Did y'all know that?
I did
No.
not. They used to be selling tickets to go see Wendy.
Right. Like my friend got the email like offering $75 to attend a taping. Like I didn't know it was that bad.
I wonder if that's also because of COVID.
I think people are over COVID right now. They're just talking about the war and stuff like that.
Right from a pandemic into a war. No escape, no breather. Like, could we get 2 years off before we start up with the bullshit again?
No,
Yes.
no. Nuclear winter is next.
No, honestly, I think it's going to be Aliens 2025.
Y'all, can we please like not?
I just want to make sure I see all my Marvel movies.
Surprise me. Just let me wake up dead. Like, fuck it. I'm, like, I don't even want to do this. I don't want to do all of this stuff. Like, if we just go, don't slowly kill us, please. Thank you.
But moving on, allegedly The Real has been canceled according to the Jasmine brand.
I heard that too. And that I am bummed out because Garcelle was really hitting her stride.
Yeah.
But that show had been kind of limping along. I thought she was giving it like a fresh shot in the arm, but I'm sure she'll get on another panel show.
Yeah, she should. I'm not surprised though. The Real has been on for a while, ever since Tamar. Like, and even then, it was never what it needed to be, because I feel like some of the people on the show aren't provocative enough.
Well, they had Amanda.
And they let her go. And I also feel like that's because that environment wasn't for somebody that was going to be honest. And that's kind of why that show didn't work, because nobody wants to watch, women of color of a certain age bullshit all day on TV. Like, or the fake genuine, or the throwing slight. It's just a lot of things about the show that just always felt like we're really not being real at The Real, are we?
It was, Bondy, to your point, it was a little too youthful. It's like, if you want to have a show that youthful, then get Kiki Palmer up there and let's kiki with the young girls. But it's like, no, we want to have some real conversations, like give us The View, but with Black women. Sister Circle kept it real.
They did.
I'm
mad she got canceled.
Sister Circle should have stayed on. I don't know why it didn't. That was a good show.
The pandemic, I think, really made things hard. And, whenever you're already kind of, the Black station, the Black show that they're watching on cable, that, they go watch on YouTube, it wasn't getting like it wasn't going to survive through it like Wendy and them did for the first couple of years, And it's sad because they had better bones, if you ask me. And I really think that BET needs to pick up some of these shows that other networks can't afford to keep and put real, energy behind. Like, y'all are only putting y'all energy behind Tyler Perry shows, and I'm starting to feel away.
We make the same face. Like, do we really have to defer to BET? Is there another Black station?
Fox Soul.
But that's not as easy to access as BET. And that's why I say BET, because I feel like it's the easiest to access. That is a Black station that everybody normally gets. A lot of people don't get Fox Soul on TV. They only can watch it online. And if we're talking about, views that you actually get from, real TV channels versus just online, I think BET is always the best bet, but they never give their shows, I think, the push and the energy that they need. They put a show on for a season and it may do well, it may not do well. And next thing you know, we don't get the show back.
I agree, because have anybody seen 20-something by Leah Wave?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it just didn't draw me in. I don't know.
It doesn't keep me, but it's good. Like, I jump in and out. I jump in and out of it. So I kind of know, like, I watched the whole first season. When the second season came, I was kind of like, oh, okay. And I watched one and I was kind of out, and I watched another one and catch up. So I just haven't been in it. But a few of, like, Boomerang wasn't that good to me either. But it's missing something. It needs something.
Jussie Smollett was finally sentenced. Now, after 40 minutes and 16 seconds, the judge got around to handing him $120,000 in restitution, a $25,000 fine, 5 years probation, but 150 days in the county jail to start immediately. Today. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go to jail now.
Period.
I mean, I didn't want jail time for him. I wanted probation. That's what I wanted. I wanted probation. I wanted probation. I wanted to have to call and check in. But I ultimately feel like it's the narcissism that I think the judge is just completely blown away by. And I feel like his little speech that he gave, like I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal, okay? That means I would have stood in the face of Black people for 400 years and LGBTQ people. And I would listen, make sure you pull it down, sir. Make sure you pull it down so we can hear you when you say it, okay?
I am not suicidal.
Okay, listen.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. When he did the power to the people and walked out, I said, this nigga is trying to get Oscar award winning performance work. That's what he's trying to get. And I also feel like it's either that or you were trying to take this political. And I've been thinking, because I'm like, people don't realize, they're like, why would he do this? Why would he? I'm like, because y'all not thinking in movie. If you think in movie like a lot of creatives do, then you understand how things like this can endear the public to you. Or what a lot of Black people have begun to do, which is he still don't deserve this, which then endears him to them because they feel bad that you're getting an unequal punishment for something. And so then, in fact, whenever you do get out of jail, God willing that you are safe and untouched, because they put him in protective custody. So thank you for that. We don't want Jussie to have to worry about his booty hole or his pretty face, okay? I'm happy about that. But it's like, you know, he's gonna come out and he's gonna use this for clout. It's gonna be like, I'm the real gay Tupac because I went and did jail time, you know, even if it was just 2 months. I was in there, swimwear, okay? He's gonna come out, the afro is gonna be thick, and you know, the beard is gonna be really nice, and it's probably gonna give a muscle tone to it when he gets out. The boys and girls are gonna wanna fuck him, and we're gonna feel bad. And then it's gonna be a resurgence of a career that might have died down after Empire if not for this.
Bondy Blue, ladies and gentlemen.
They gave Lori Loughlin jail time for white collar crime. They gave Lori Loughlin, she didn't perpetuate a hate crime. Her and her daughter just forged some documents to get into USC for a scholarship, and they sent her to jail, a white woman. So if they sent it honkies to jail, I'm like, you know what, Jussie, you could do your 2 months too.
Well, here's my thing. Where to begin? I mean, when you brought up the power to the people thing, you would have thought he was Nelson Mandela, like just walking out the courthouse. But I think it first started when I saw it was the 40-minute soliloquy by the judge. He just made so many points to the case where I just didn't realize, like, this is an airtight case, like irrefutable evidence. He brought up the premeditation of his act. And I think that was the main reason that he got time. And I didn't want him to have time either. I think, you know, he already ruined his life. I think this is his legacy. This is going to be with you until you are gone. We're going to know you for this. Unfortunately, we're going to have like, oh, they're pulling a Jussie, you know? So the way he broke it down and read the fuck out of Jussie, I was just speechless the entire time. Like, how can you, even if you're a friend or family to Jussie, if you're still saying he's innocent, then I'm looking at you funny now too.
The fact that he has kept this lie going for 2 years and then pivoted, because remember, he is the gay Tupac. So he fought his 2 white attackers back, so he said, but then was able to pivot in court when it was proven that it was the Osundario brothers, who may be many things, but they ain't white. And then he said, oh, well, he was trying to be my head of security and phonied up this threat so that I would have to hire him and pay him more. I'm sorry, how did we go from a homophobic hate crime, a racist hate crime, to now your staff is trying to stick it to you after they stuck it to you at Steamworks in Chicago?
I just feel like, as it pertains to his family, I understand their position. I would not continue to say he was innocent. I just would stress that I love him and that I stand behind him, and I'm going to do whatever I can do to support him in this. So here's the problem. Even though this is not something that I feel like I would want to, like, you know, play my people for, like, if you harm somebody for real, like, to be honest, I'm not even feeling a way if somebody ended up unalived or something, depending on what your, you know, situation is. You know what I'm saying? Because things happen, you know what I'm saying? But if you're out here like Nicki Minaj brothering it and shit like that, I'm not standing behind you. So I feel like this is something that they can stand behind him on, but it still makes me feel like is standing behind him the right thing for you to do when it comes to holding him accountable, so he doesn't continue to do things like this that kind of are self-harm in some ways. You know what I'm saying? It's self-harm. And so I have to wonder at some point, like, have y'all had real ass conversations with him, or are we like just acting as if we don't know that he's lying? Because we know that he's lying at this point.
We know, the judge knows, the Osundario brothers know, Lee Daniels knows, everybody knows.
I also want to stress to people that I, as well as all of us, don't find joy in this. You know, like, he did this to himself. And it's just, I keep hearing the people on the other side of the argument saying, oh, it's just another Black man in jail. Like, the white people, his counterparts, do the same thing.
I want us to get past that. I really do. I get it, but it's not the 80s. It's not the 90s. And there's an opening up of the brain that is happening currently. I feel like back in the 70s, they used to talk about the age of Aquarius all the time. And I feel like we are in the age of Aquarius, and everybody's minds are opening up and we're seeing things differently. And one of the things we need to see differently is the idea that because someone is Black, they deserve infinite patience and protection when they are in fact harming people. And I'm not with that on any level.
Right. Because I thought that parallel kind of to with Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. Like, you know, a lot of people were defending them, saying like, oh, well, you have this person or this person. They ain't getting as much scrutiny as their white counterparts. So, I mean, they're still guilty though.
At the end of the day, still wrong and don't deserve to get away with it just because other people get away with it. That's not how any of this works.
And that's not how it should work.
And when he gets out, I mean, 5 months is going to come and go like that. I'm pretty sure he's going to get out sooner than that, hopefully. He's going to bounce back, I think.
I think it's going to be a great album. I think that it's going to be a great album.
What label's putting that out? He was dropped by Columbia Records at the height of his career. I don't think anybody's really signing up to hear his bray. I think Candace Dillard's album would do better than any effort he would put out.
Yes, of course.
I think Tyler Perry will be first in line to give him like a nice C role or something. Or
Tyler will call for sure.
Yeah, he could be an extra in Law and Order or something. I don't know.
Child, I'm not gonna tell y'all what you saying, an extra in Law and Order, what that made me think about with Tyler, because I think about Tyler. You know, you can count on Tyler to come to the rescue with people.
Yes, he has some relationships with the people that hire him anyway. So maybe Tyler, you know, I don't want the gossip, so you ain't hear from me.
I feel like Jussie will definitely be shirtless for Tyler. So it will happen. He will definitely come and play some problematic gay man in a Tyler Perry movie that needs saving, and then will further endear Jussie to us because he'll act in it phenomenally, just the way he did in court.
He clearly didn't have a publicist.
Bruh, was it just me that felt like, damn, I can see that he's acting and it's almost working?
It was giving me Raisin in the Sun tea. He was going for his Sidney Poitier moment.
He loves Sidney Poitier too.
He's a thespian.
Mm.
He's a thespian.
Any other final thoughts on Jussie Smollett, he who? Because this has been a saga. Me and Alex have been covering this since 2019.
We all have.
I remember when we did our first allegedly like pop rose show.
It was when the Chicago Police Department released all of the text messages, and that's when we found out they were sissying around Steamworks, busting it wide open in bathhouses. You know, that's when we found out that cocaine had a little something on their brains. Cocaine. They were doing a little bump of ecstasy. He was like, ooh, can you get the drugs for tonight? So we found out Miss Smollett was dipping it and doing it. He was on his Wendy Williams. And now so is his career.
Yeah, I called you at I think it was 9 or 10 p.m. I was just like, we need to do this. We need to film right now. 70,000 views later. I'm glad we did.
Oh my God. Ooh, that was a good one.
Lord, I just hope there's no appeals. I just want this to just...
Oh, they're going to appeal.
Lay to rest.
They already entered it. They entered it that day. They said, we're sending it via email right now. Are you going to be the attorney for the appeal? Right now. No. Are you going to be the attorney for the appeal? Yes, Your Honor. Okay, then. All right. We received that email. Okay. That was literally what happened.
Wow. I mean, if Jussie wants to keep wasting his money, how much do you think in lawyer fees he's pissed away on this piss poor plot line?
I'm just glad that Journey is working, because I feel like Journey is the type of sister to slide you to 100K. Like
100K. I think it's $1 million at this point.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about that's a little bit of how much he owed.
Oh, okay.
In the restitution and all of that is 145,000. So she could definitely slide him the 100. You know what I'm saying? She might even slide him the whole restitution if she got it like that, and she may. I hope she does. The family probably has done well with the money, period. All the kids were acting for years. If the family did like they should have done, which is invested their money, then they should be in a really good place right now. And that's probably what's paying for the lawyer's fees. Even though he sold his condo and all of that type of shit, I feel like that was to make sure that they did not put a dent in the family's money when they saw what those lawyer's fees was going to look like. And it's probably in the millions for sure.
Wow.
I mean, 2 years for this. 2 years. I just couldn't do it.
He could have just paid the $150,000 when he got off.
He could have just not perpetrated a hate crime, let Empire in as it needed to, and then moved on to another show.
That's true.
Your life was perfect. You had everything. You were the sissy du jour.
He was an out Black actor, working.
Yes.
Lee Daniels, had you directing some episodes of Empire.
We liked you. We felt like you were the only real, talented one. Really, amongst those, amongst the kids, everybody felt like Jamal,
A lot of these DL actors don't even want to come out. Kendrick Sampson, I'm looking at you. But I'm just really disappointed in Jussie. That's all.
Let me go look up who Kendrick Sampson is, first of all.
Kendrick Sampson is from Insecure. Nathan.
Oh.
Well,
there's so many secret sissies.
I'm about to say, well, I looked at him and look when I got it, and then I was like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Oh, Kendrick Sampson, the light-skinned one.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a secret sissy.
I haven't often seen him with women. I'm just saying.
Did you see the picture of him? He posted his ass on his birthday.
Oh no.
I don't give a shit about a bottom.
Well, I do, but yeah.
Girl, all we gonna do is bump pocketbooks and lose change. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh my God, I've always wanted to ask, but I didn't want to be rude. So what's the situation? I'm curious.
What do you mean?
Are you a top end, or are you
Oh goodness. This is for Chris's business. They got to pay for that. Anyway,
Okay, listen, I'm not mad. I was just curious. You can tell me offline.
but
Listen.
ass is a true delicacy of mine. Let's just say that.
Oh God.
But let's move on to
Respect.
somebody that is innocent. I just wanted to know y'all thoughts because I already talked about it on my YouTube channel. Ryan Coogler got arrested, the director of Black Panther, for withdrawing his own money at a Bank of America. He wanted to withdraw $12,000 in cash to the teller. So he went in and he wrote on the back of a withdrawal slip, I want to withdraw $12,000, but I want you to be discreet about it. So the lady, the teller, she panicked and went to her manager about it, and her manager called the cops, and the cops arrested him on site. They'd ask questions. Like, I think this could have been handled differently, but before y'all ask, the teller was a Black girl. They had the 911 call. I heard that. She sounded extremely inexperienced, but Bank of America handled it. It happened in January, but they said it was all finalized and situated on their end. I'm pretty sure they cut a check. But I just want to know y'all thoughts on that, because I worked as a teller in Wells Fargo, one of the worst jobs in my life, and I've served for 14 years. Worst job of my life.
I have been giggling about it, and I feel bad because I feel like I shouldn't be laughing about it. But in my mind, a scenario was created. And I was like, so Ryan Coogler walks into the bank with his beanie, his sunglasses, and his mask on. Okay. And we all have masks on, so this is not a big deal. But he slides the note to this very inexperienced and probably a little dumb girl. And I mean dumb because I don't think she knew what the word discreet meant. So I believe, and I also believe that she might have been in a robbery before, because she seemed to automatically get scared once the note was slid to her. And I think once the note was slid to her, she was no longer processing the way a normal person should have processed that moment. And I also did not like the way they kept referencing in the article that I read that she was a pregnant Black girl, as to let y'all know it wasn't racial. But it also made me feel like, why would the manager, like, she came to you. So this was the moment to tell your employee, stand down. I'm going to go and handle the interaction. You go to the man, you said, sir, can we talk to you over here in the office? She got a note from you. What is this? You know what I'm saying? And he could have explained, y'all have security in the bank. So ultimately, if he was trying to rob y'all, then it would have happened either way, because you said you were being robbed. So why not? Even if she didn't want to take him to the side, she could have went to the spot and said, sir, you want to, she could have handled it herself, is what I'm saying. The manager could have handled it herself, because the manager didn't call. The manager told her not to call, from what I understand. The manager told her not to call the cops, but she was so uncomfortable that she did it anyway. And this is another moment where I feel like the manager was like, well, bitch, I'm about to go on lunch. Do what you want to do. Because you should have handled that interaction. She sounded inexperienced. She sounded scared. And that's another thing that I picked up on when I did hear her explaining, is that it wasn't like, oh, I don't think this Black man should have this money. It's like, he slid me a note and my mind has completely shut the fuck down. Like, that's what it seemed like to me. And think about it. Like, I don't know why I thought it was so funny, but I'm like, I think he thought that people were going to notice him. So when he slid her the note, he probably was looking around and shit. And she may have read him looking around and shit as, is he looking around because he's trying to rob me? Because you know how if somebody walking up to you to rob you on the low, they looking around to make sure ain't nobody hearing them and shit. So I think she was looking at it differently than what it was.
And also, they had two people in the car with the engine running.
That was another thing.
Yeah, like the optics was terrible.
And he wanted to be discreet because he's about to walk around Atlanta with $12,000 cash.
Right.
And that's not something you want to broadcast either. Right. I feel like if she had just looked at, because he gave them the ID, the withdrawal slip, if you had looked in the account and saw all those zeros, you would have said, oh, 12,000 to him is $12. Let me count this off over here right quick. Like, did you not look at the account and see, okay, like it came with the,
when they put it in, they said that when she put it in a computer, it alerted, like it gave her an alert. So that's why she went to the manager, which makes me feel like, hello, manager.
The manager should have
But
handled
it did. The computer alerted her because of the amount of money that he was trying to get out. So I think all of that, but I just want to mention that because you said why, you put it in the computer, didn't you? So it's like, yeah, she did, but the computer told her alert, alert. Whole thing.
It's just sad that I feel like we as Black people, if we want to go, purchase a house, if we want to take out our hard-earned money, we got to call the bank first. Hello, yes, there's someone of the melanated persuasion that's going to be coming in. Could I get an appointment, please?
Which is
I'll be there at 2:15. Okay, Barb? All right, I'll see you there.
Okay, Barb.
All right, hon, I'll see you then. It's like you got to make an appointment just to get a withdrawal. Okay, y'all know I was coming. You was waiting for me, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny you say that, and I'm gonna just say my experience right quick with that. Somebody of Ryan Coogler's stature, he should have like a private banker, like where he can call there and he'll have the money waiting for him when he gets there. So that was kind of weird too. And then also as a teller, sometimes we don't even have that amount of money in our drawer. Maybe like an inexperienced teller, they'll have maybe $5,000 to $8,000 in their drawer. So anyway, you're going to get a manager. And then the manager, that should all be placed on him or her. I don't know if it was a man or a woman. Like they're supposed to ask you questions. And I've been in that situation where we have called the police because you would be so surprised how many people come into a bank trying to commit fraud. So we do call the police sometimes while they have their ID because it says fraud. So sometimes it can be a little nuanced situation, but with Ryan Coogler, I just really think all they had to do was just ask him some questions. But I think they skipped so many protocols that definitely they need to, I don't know, somebody getting fired. So unfortunately, we heard some news today, and it was the tragic passing of Tracy Braxton. I know y'all definitely watched Braxton Family Values. I never watched it, but I was very familiar with, like, it was a really tight-knit family. And even though they fought a lot, I mean, they were family at the end of the day. And then she was 50 years old and she passed from esophageal cancer, and you just never know what people are going through. It's just so sad.
It really is. Like, y'all, I had the craziest response. I'm literally sitting in the chair to get my nails done and, look at my phone and, you know what I mean? The girls put it in our panel, they put it in the DMs, and I'm just like fighting back tears, sitting in the chair, getting my feet done, trying not to cry because I was really like shocked and hurt because she really was one of my favorites. And I always felt like they didn't treat her the best. And so to see that she's the first of them to pass, that just really hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still kind of a little, hurt, like really, really hurt behind it. So, my prayers are out to her family, especially her husband and her son and her grandchild. Like, I imagine that those are the people that are really going to feel like the pain of this. But I saw pictures of her, and it didn't look good, but nobody had actually said anything yet. So, until people say things, I don't really like to, I'll see it, but I don't know what's going on. So let me just keep scrolling, but I had seen pictures and she looked like she wasn't healthy. So, it's just sad to see her go and so soon.
She was the light of the show. She was the only one who could check Tamar. And she had her own album, which was amazing. I stand for that album. Always have, always will. I like to remember Tracy when she was on tour on her own, getting that second shot that she deserved. And I love that she also went out on tour in her 40s with new music, something Normani still hasn't done.
Yikes. You know what else she did? She did background for Candace Dillard's album. Yeah.
Wow.
I found that out when the album came out, that she had done a background for her album. And I was just like, damn, Tracy, I'm glad, you know, like you just be happy to hear people working and you know, people still want to hear their voice, because she has, like, all of the Braxtons have the same kind of tone to their voices. But it's a special gift to be a good background singer, man. That shit is not easy to harmonize and be able to carry people's vocals through background like that. So, you know, that was amazing to me. So it's, yeah.
How many seasons was the show?
Ooh, 9, I think.
Yeah, they put WeTV on their back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And they never made a joint album.
No.
Damn. Okay.
And that was what, like, their mom wanted them to do. So the fact that y'all really let all of this time and bullshit, you know, get in the way of y'all doing that, I know there has to be some regret.
Yeah.
Because they could have just done, I remember when the show first started, they were talking about doing a project together, and, you know, Tony kind of wanted to be a part of it, kind of didn't. And they were like, well, is it going to be spiritual? Is it going to be uplifting? And I was like, y'all could have done a little 5-song albumette of some uplifting stuff, and we would have loved it.
When I tell you, I love the moments where they would create songs and shit like that on the show. That I know you getting in the panties like daddy. She was doing the when I tell you, I cry laughing every time I see them do something, you know, together. Oh my God. I'm gonna go watch Braxton Family Values. Go binge watch it. It's on one of them streaming services that I pay for. Did y'all see Stevie J?
What?
Stevie J did an interview with this girl. I don't know who the girl was, but it was like an interview. And he's in a bed looking like somebody sucking his dick. And then he starts talking to the girl, talking about, yeah, you a little slut, ain't you? You a little nasty slut, ain't you? To the girl who was interviewing him. I posted it on my community page.
I did not see that. Huh.
He is too old for these antics.
He's back on drugs. Basically, that's what that looked like to me. And it made me sad.
Why was she interviewing Stevie J?
Because he's about to do an uncensored. Like, he's been doing some pub for this uncensored that he did. And I guess Tammy Roman is now like asking the questions and being the interviewer on uncensored, which I did not know until now. But they've been doing a lot of publicity for it. So I'm wondering if that's what this was supposed to be.
Yeah, she did one with Keisha Cole or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like Keisha, but, you know, she blocked me.
Well, it's a good thing she didn't bop you, because that's why Eve stopped hanging out with her.
So I cannot hang with you, Keisha. You don't know how to act.
Well, I just know, like, there's just certain women you approach correctly, and that's one of them, as well as Mary J. Blige. I come up respectfully. Like, I don't know. I can totally see Keisha smacking somebody. Didn't she get into a fight with, wasn't it Baby's girlfriend? Or
a whole bunch of them. She beat the shit out of Bow Wow. It's been a whole bunch of situations where she didn't put the paws on people. You know, listen, she one of them girls that like to tussle, okay? And as a girl who does not like to tussle, okay, I would just be like, Now, when it comes to Mary J. Blige, I'm sorry, Auntie, you're gonna have to be mad at me because I'm gonna be all in your face. Like, what is going on, Mary? Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, if you don't like me, I don't care, okay? Because I love you. I don't care. You're a lesbian. I love you. I love you. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. She's probably bi. She's probably bi. Do you not get that energy from her though?
A little bit, like a Whitney Houston type.
Yes. And if you remember back in the day, they used to hang.
There is nothing gayer than Whitney Houston in the I'm Your Baby Tonight video. Y'all go back and watch that video.
No, I'm thinking about Good Love with the jean jacket.
No, I'm Your Baby Tonight was the leather jacket. And then when she hopped on that bike with the leather fringe just to fail it, and then that backup dancer lifted that leg up and elegantly hopped on behind her. Oh, watch the last scene of that video.
I'm going to.
I mean, she was giving Rob Dixon masculinity.
Listen, I'm just gonna say I feel like there are often times when I really love people, and it's usually because there's something about them that I'm connecting to and I don't even know yet. And Whitney is one of those people. And also Mary is one of those people. Like Mary, I don't care. I don't care that you were with KC. I don't care that you were with Kendu. I feel like there's some girl out there that would be an excellent partner to you that will not steal from you, you know, and won't fuck
Her
over
and
you.
Monifa should have gotten together.
Monifa. Is that I don't know.
I don't see it.
I don't see that. But I'm gonna tell you, I listen, you know who she always be with? The one who look like me, well, who I look like. Misa Heaton, who you know, Diddy's first baby mama.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I'd be like, are
But
y'all?
she used to style Mary though. Diddy introduced
Yes.
her. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There is definitely an energy sometimes. You know, they real like they like this. Like you literally, anytime you see Mary, Misa might be somewhere around.
And Kim.
They like this. So sometimes I just be like, you know, when people have consistent people in their lives like that, especially in hip hop, I sometimes wonder about those relationships because I know y'all can't be who y'all really want to be.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Especially because, you know, Mary come off like, you know, old hoe in the mind.
And,
you know?
And you notice it's like the Generation X girls, like, you know, the Brat was in the closet, Missy, Queen Latifah, and so on.
Tashina Arnold, they said, MC Light, they said. This is what they said. I don't know, but this is what they said.
Mm-hmm. But look at Niecy Nash. Look how happy she is.
And her girlfriend is hot. I'd fuck her. I mean, her wife is hot. I'd fuck her. No, I'm just saying, like, I have a type. She's my type.
Okay. I think if I could participate with a couple, it would be Boris Kajot and his wife,
yes, Nicole Ari Parker.
That is something I would love to be a part of.
I could see that. They're beautiful people. You know, I love watching them on Soul Food, child. Them old episodes of Soul Food. There's a whole bunch of fucking going on there. And they used to get it, you know, they used to have a lot of scenes, child.
Well, I need to go back and watch.
You should, because you know it was real, you know what I'm saying? So now you got to go back and look like, ooh, y'all was really like, what was going on in this moment?
Well, on that note, I think we've allotted our time. Thank you so much, Bondy. I know you have like a flight to catch tomorrow. I want you to enjoy your vacation. It's well earned, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, I will. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And please come back.
I
Yes.
will.
Please,
You know,
anytime.
We'll always do stuff. What do you mean? You know.
Right. Yeah, I know. So our outro is normally like a we'll see you sooner then. So of course we want you to participate in that. So if you have something, you know, go ahead.
Let's see. You'll see me sooner than you see Mary J. Blige come out of the closet.
And we'll see you sooner than OLG gets its next health code violation.
And we'll see you sooner than Jussie Smollett who's appeal.
Perfect. Bye, y'all.